Hello friends, this is Dr. Shashi Agarwal. I welcome you all. Today we are going to do the topics under Unit 1 for the net management students. Even this topic is also relevant for the student of the principal management. Under this lecture we are going to cover what are the various types of the communication, that is on the basis of the organization relation, on the basis of flow of direction, or on the basis of media. Its written note they will be available at my blog. Even its Hindi lecture is also available at my second channel, that is the Shashi Agarwal Economics and Law classes. First of all, we will understand what are the various methods or types of communication. Here we could classify the communication on the basis of organization structure, that is the formal and informal. On the basis of flow or direction, it could be downward, it could be upward, it could be horizontal, it could be diagonal, it could be interactive. And the basis of media methods or media used, it could be written, it could be oral, it could be non-verbal communication. On the basis of organizational structure, it could be formal and informal. The formal communication which takes place through the formal channels, like you are working in a manager in the organization. So your boss is general manager, he gives you the instruction, you pass it to your subordinates, which take place through the formal channels along the lines of authority which are set up in the organization. It could be upward, it could be downward. If upward means when from the lower level it passes to the upper level. When subordinates submit the report to their boss, it is called upward communication. Downward communication, when superiors issues decision and instruction to the subordinate, then we say it flows from the upper end to the lower end. On the basis of organizational structure, the formal communication is always in written form. It may take place policy manuals, procedure, memoranda, papers, orders, memos, letters, circulars, etc. So what are the merits of formal communication? Because under the formal communication, it is flow around the lines of the established authority, so we could fix the responsibility, and it maintains the authority relationship, but it has certain limitation. It is time consuming, it is complicated, and there is because that the communication has to be routed through the formal path, so there is no free and smooth flow of information. And the second is informal communication. It does not follow the line of authority. Due to personal needs of the members of the organization, there is a informal communication, like the manager is traveling with his subordinate, then he passes some information, then like while communicating he passes some information to the members. That is the informal communication. Because it satisfies your because when we are working in the organization, we are not the machine, we do communicate with each other. It is also called the bush telegraph or the jungle telegraph. It can make effective use of the informal channels of communication to strengthen the formal channel. Like the organization wants to change something, want to introduce some changes in the organization, so they will separate this message through informal channel, so that the people should be mentally ready to accept this change. And it serves as a very useful purpose, because people, they talk informally with each other, that satisfy the desire of people to communicate with each other. But it is basically it suffer from the limitation, because when people are talking informally, and they will be the information will not be accurate, the information will be half truth, and there will maybe some rumors, and here under informal communication we could not fix responsibility. On the basis of flow or direction, downward communication. Communication between a superior and subordinate is known as a vertical communication. It could be downward communication, it could be upward communication. Downward communication, which flows from a superior to a subordinate. When the superior wants that the things should be done, then he communicates with his subordinate, and he make ready them for the changes. If there is some misunderstanding, he clear the doubts. And when the information is communicated to subordinate, so the employees, they're developing a feeling of pride of being well informed about the organization. Downward communication, where the superior is sending the information to the subordinate, could be instruction, it could be order, it could be anything which the superior transmit the information to the subordinate. It comes from the upper end to the lower end, so it is called the downward communication. So on the basis of, it could be notice, circular, instructions, orders, letters, memos, bulletin, handbook, annual reports, and the notices of the group meeting. On the basis of flow or direction of the upward communication, the information flows from the subordinate to the superior, the lower level to the upper level. This is called the upward communication. Like the worker to the foreman, foreman to the manager, to the general manager, and to the chief executive, to the board of directors. Here the information is passed from the lower level to the upper level. It includes opinions, ideas, suggestions, grievances, appeals, reports, etc. There is the upward, why we require the upward communication? Because when the information is transmitted to the subordinate through by communicating to the upper level, he is giving the feedback. So sense of belongingness, to create the communication is effective, to evaluate the effectiveness of communication, to coordinate, and it also increases the morale of the employee. On the reports, meetings, interview, conferences, letters, complaints, suggestions, horizontal, lateral, or sideward communication. Horizontal communication, which takes place between the persons who are working at the same level, like the production manager, marketing manager, HRM manager. Diagonal communication, people who are neither in the same department nor on the same level, but they're communicating with each other, like the assistant marketing manager communicates with the accounting clerk. So it is the diagonal communication. On the basis of flow of direction, we could say interactive communication, because when the people, they are working in the organization, they do communicate with each other, and there is no restriction on the flow of information unless it is against the organization interest. When organization people, they gather for the lunch, they gather for the refreshment, they gather in the break period, so they communicate with each other. So it is the interactive communication that takes place spontaneous, like the organization heads their meeting and discussing something, and the organization head is motivating his employees, and there is a interdepartmental communication, and there is some problem is there, so problem is assessed, and the means are devised to solve the problems among different groups, different persons. On the basis of media or expression, it could be written communication, it could be oral communication, it could be non-verbal communication. Here the message is transmitted into black and white. It includes diagram, graphs, pictures, and charts. When we communicate through written record, it's a permanent record. Written communication should always be clear, correct, and concise, like reports, manuals, circulars, memoranda, newspaper, agreements, etc. They are expressed in the form of written, because when the information is communicated in written form, it has uniform effect, because the same letter is circulated to all the members of the organization, so the information is same. Written information could be taken as a legal evidence, could be taken as a permanent record. In the lengthy message could be communicated through written messages, or even at the distant places we could communicate with each other through written messages. It is expensive, time consuming, there is no secrecy, and it is rigid, and it is very formal and lacks the personal touch. Oral communication, when we are conveying the message through spoken words, we are not expressing in the written form, like face-to-face talk, telephonic talk, like interview, in meeting, lectures, conferences, symposium, radio talks, announcement. Face-to-face talk is there, no written communication. It is less expensive, it is quick, it is more effective, and we could have more clarity because we could remove the doubts, misunderstanding, and it has personal touch also. Demerit, it is less reliable. A person may back out from his words. It is influenced by self-interest and attitude. We could not record, we could not produce that legal evidence, and it is also not suitable for the distant places. Gestural or non-verbal communication, actions speak louder than words. The non-verbal communication, neither it is form written form, neither it is in the uh, verbal form. It is through gesture, through the body parts, like movement of the lips, like when there are guests in your house and your mother, you are making noise, and by keeping a finger on her lips, she communicated to you. So here the information is communicated through gestures, like we are winking of the eye. Don't like the person is talking to someone, he's going to disclose certain facts, but the other person just wink, there is a wink of eyes, he understood this information is not to be passed to this person. Wave of the hands, like in the class, when the teacher asks have you understood, we nod the hands. When we don't understand, then we also nod in different manners. It is also known as a gesticulation communication. It supplements the verbal and written communication. Body movements are labeled as a kinesics, which includes gestural and the facial configuration and the other movements. So these are the, here the messages that are conveyed through the verbal, non-verbal. And the what should be the media? Should it be written? It should be verbal. Like it's very difficult to say which media is better, because both are needed, both complement to each other. In certain situation, the verbal communication is more effective. We could have more clarity of doubt, but when under certain situation, the written communication is much better than the verbal communication. When we want to convey the lengthy messages, and when we convey at the distant place, when we have to keep the record. Interpersonal communication, transferring the information from one person to another. This is a basic method of effective behavior. It incorporates the psychological process, perception, learning and motivation, and the language. Advanced information technology have the impact, because when we are working in the organization, we do communicate with each other. Getting interpersonal communication rest on two things: getting your message across, like the sender is communicating the message, sender is transferring the message to the receiver, and the receiver understood and interpret the message in the same tone as the sender wants to send. Active listening, here the receiver is listening carefully to the, he's receiving the signal from the sender, understanding the message and remembering the message, and responding refer to the listener's development and display the behavior.